Hi guys. The past several weeks have been really intense, but I knew that there'd be a silver lining. I knew that after the first week of October, everything was going to get easier. I was actually telling my grandma a couple weeks ago about how stressful and chaotic and how tight everything was and how much pressure we were under and stuff in our lives, like financially, physically, emotionally, mentally, just everything just so worn so thin. And I talked about that briefly in one of my previous videos where I discussed dealing with a lot of pressure and stuff, of just feeling like everything was just worn so thin on us, but it's just so we could grow. And now it's finally like, we didn't break. The pressure didn't break us. The pulling, the prodding, the tension, it didn't cause us to break. So when I was on the phone with my grandma a few weeks back, I told her, that we, until we got the home equity stuff done, like we were pretty much completely broke, down to panicking and stuff, like to where levels that we haven't been at in the last several years financially, of just being like, oh no, this is really, really, really dangerous, really sketchy, really bad. Like making cuts everywhere, all the pleasure things that we enjoyed, like no ice cream, no goodies, no treats, no Reese cups for me, like nothing. Like we don't drink pops. I mean, I would say pop, but we cut that out several years ago. But yeah, it was like nothing. Like, and I was like, oh, this is bad. I'm like, dang, these puppies are eating all of our budget up, literally. And then all of the time and the energy that it took to care for them, and the mental strain of losing so much sleep, listening to them, and just, oh God, the noise and the smell, and just that on top of a million other things that, like, they're personal things. So I'm not gonna bother you guys with that, because those things are ongoing. So, but I kept telling my grandma, I said, after the first week of October, we're gonna have all of the bids in for the septic. So that's officially, the clock has started. They have from now until, whoever won the bid has from now until December 5th to get the new septic installed here. So finally, after 2 years of waiting, it's like, at least there's a time frame now. At least everything's in motion. I'm not just waiting and moving things around and panicking and stuff. Yesterday, we signed the papers for the home equity line of credit, so we won't have to make the car payment next week. We asked the lady from the bank, because we're like, hey, this is when it's due. Like, when's the money coming in? When are we going to be able to, pay it off and all this stuff? And we told her when it was due, and she's like, yeah. She's like, it'll be right around that same time. She's like, don't make the car payment. So now we're like, thank God, that's going to save us hundreds of dollars a month just switching things around a little bit. Just different things coming up that we've been like, oh God, how are we going to manage? What are we going to do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? It's just like, we can breathe now. When we got rid of the rest of the puppies and stuff, like, it's just like, I don't have to deal with all the noise, the constant feeding, the cleaning up so many messes, the spending an hour a day working on scrubbing and sweeping and stuff, and just cleaning and cleaning and cleaning the same things again and again and again for it just to be so awful. Just all these experiences of just really extreme hardship and difficulty, of things being thrown at us all at the same time, and just feeling like we can't keep our heads above water. Meanwhile, having every vehicle break down pretty much, except for my car that's a stick shift that really bothers the snot out of my knee and ankle to drive, bothers the snot out of Tracy's knee to drive. We were down to that pretty much. And the farm truck that I've been trying to sell for almost 2 months now. I've got it listed for like $2,500 less than Blue Book value, and still there's been no bites. But so yesterday, after the puppies left, it was kind of funny. I got to backtrack a little bit. Sorry, guys. This probably drives some of you nuts, how I start going forward and then realize I have to backtrack. So sorry. But so a couple days before we got rid of all the puppies, they actually started pumping more for the fracking that's going on around here. So the pump that's across the field, that's kind of also why I'm hiding out behind the camper right now, because it's a little bit quieter. The pump across the field is pumping now, and then they also right up the road somewhere have put another pump out that way. And they're beginning to frack behind our property. So all of this humming has reemerged since the weekend. So around the weekend time until Wednesday, which was yesterday, we've been kind of cooped up in the house. It's either you go outside and you hear this loud engine sound constantly, or you go inside and you hear puppies screaming and whining and crying and barking and growling. And it's been really hard on me to not have a single quiet space to go to. But so anyways, so fast forward back to getting rid of the puppies on Wednesday and stuff. When we got home after taking them to the pound and all of this and started deep cleaning and all this, just to be able to just sit at home and finally have peace again. Like Tracy and I just sat in silence for like an hour and a half or so in the living room. Like we were just talking to each other, but like we didn't have the TV on, we didn't have music on, we didn't have any distractions on anything. So we were like, finally we are not trying to drown out the sound of something else, that we can just... And honestly, I don't think our house has ever felt this peaceful. Like this calm, this relaxed, this peaceful, this zen. It's never felt that way. Other places we've lived have felt very, very calm, like where you just walk in, you step in. Like the house that we had in town, we lived there for like four years, a little over 4 years. And like even friends, when they would come over, they'd be like, it just feels good in here. Like you just walk in and it just feels like all your stress is just washed off of you. It's how normally our spaces feel. This has been like, you step on the property and you put on this backpack of stress. Like it's just not been good. But anyways, so I really forgot where I was going. Gotta love ADHD. Yeah, we got rid of the puppies. That felt nice. Fracking sucks. Bank's going good. No more car payment. What else? Oh, the truck. Yeah, that was it. So all of this stuff happened yesterday. And then last night, right before we went to bed, somebody actually messaged me about our farm truck that I've been trying to sell for forever and stuff. And they actually asked me if I'd be interested in a trade. And I'm like, we don't really need another vehicle. Like, you know, I'm fine with us just having 3. Like we fell into another one and it just makes more sense and stuff. But I'm like, all right, well, what do you got? And he ended up showing me the pictures and stuff of a F-150 instead of a Ranger and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be able to resale for at least as much as I was selling our truck for, or better. And it doesn't have a wooden bed, because that's why no one is interested in buying our truck, because bed rusted out, I built a wooden bed. So it's just kind of frustrating, because our truck is valued way higher, and unless if I change out the bed and do all this work to it, it is what it is. I'm not putting anything else into it. But anyways, long story short is, on Saturday I'm supposed to actually go look at that other person's truck and potentially do like a truck swap. So that might be really good for us, because part of the issue why I don't like our truck is because it rides extremely rough. It basically feels like you're driving a lawnmower down the road. It's always been that way. That's just how Rangers are. And it kills my back. So I actually have osteoarthritis in my spine, bone spurs in my spine, and just a whole list of issues that really get aggravated when I drive that truck. So we've had an F-150 before, same body style, same like year grouping or whatever. And it did not bother my back when we had that before. It was a really comfortable ride. So I'm kind of like, okay, this might be really nice. But yeah, either way, it's been just like this cascading of sort of blessings coming in that just started this week. So it's just been one of those things where it's like, come on, good stuff, keep on coming. You know, it's just, I don't like rubbing it in or bragging or anything, because I kind of feel like when I'm celebrating a win that I'm kind of being like, ha ha ha, I win. But if you guys have been around for a while, you know how much this journey has been just nothing but struggle, pretty much, and hardship and difficulty. So now that we're kind of like all the dominoes are starting to fall into place, it's like, okay, we're gonna get to live again. We're gonna get to live life again and not just be in constant survival mode. We're gonna be able to spend time doing things we actually love instead of doing the things that just need done so we can keep our heads above water. Like, it's just the amount of changes that are starting to roll in right now for us. It just feels really good for my soul. It feels really good. I don't know. I'm just going to leave this here, because otherwise I'm just going to keep rambling about how amazing this all feels. And yeah, nobody's going to want to watch that. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.